Good afternoon, or should I say good evening? It's dark outside. Boy, pretty soon, we'll be going, oh, it's getting a little lighter. It's getting a little lighter instead of where we are now, losing moments of daylight every day. But I'm anticipating the time when we will have longer days, more sunlight, and that just happens to dovetail with the theme for today, the lost joy of anticipation. We'll talk about that in a minute. Um, I'm in my jammies still. I was in my jammies all day. And if this is your first time, this is Living in the Light. I'm Reverend Alicia Leslie. This is when we take a look at our lives and how to stay up when it's down and light when it's dark, and how to develop coping skills based on metaphysics. Ooh, that sounds pretty heavy. It's much simpler than that. And so we're going, no, go back to my pajamas for a minute. I went and enjoyed a wonderful afternoon with my niece Yvonne and her significant other yesterday, and we had a day late Thanksgiving. But is it ever too late to be Thanksgiving? It should always be Thanksgiving, right? So we had a wonderful time and we ate. You take off that guard that says, oh my God, I gotta watch it. And I made sure I weighed myself before I went to try to give me a little extra, you know, extra strength in not overeating. But then, there's that little devil that sits on your shoulder and goes, "But it's Thanksgiving. You should do what you want to do." And I think I probably overate quite a bit. Stayed up late, worked hard the day before making my Thanksgiving dinner for Mimi and myself. We did our Thanksgiving on Zoom, or you can't make the Zoom work right, so we actually did it on Duo, a new feature of one of my phones. Not as good as this, but we're working on it. So I think I was basically run down, and then yesterday I went nuts overeating and everything, and woke up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Is feeling just funky, not me. And I said, "Oh no, please, no." So I made some sleepy time tea and I went back to bed, and I put my Audible on with a sleep timer, and I was listening to one of my favorite books on audio. It's called This Year It Will Be Different. It's a great collection of stories by Maeve Binchy, and they're very quirky, just like me, which is probably why I liked it. If you can find it, you can get it in book form, you can get it on Audible, but it is a great bunch of fun stories. So I put that on, and next thing you know, it's 4 o'clock, and I tried, and I did go back to sleep. Weird dreams. But I went back to sleep, and I got up this morning. Oh no, still a little shaky, very draggy, very fatigued. And I just said, heck with it all. I'm just going to lay down and try to feel better. So this is the first time I've been vertical during the day. Still feeling a little off, but I'm praying that's going to go away soon. Especially because I am going to go see Tristan, Lord willing, on the 5th of December. And I'll probably get a COVID test before I go, just to be sure. And but in the meantime, I'm taking care of myself and doing the best I can, like we all do. I don't want anything interfering with my anticipation of my visit with Tristan. And now we're going to begin, as we typically do, with the National Day calendar. Today was kind of easy. There were only 3. And the first one is National Craft Jerky Day. Craft jerky? What is that? Well, it's specialized jerky And if you're not familiar with jerky, it's like, the kids like that fruit leather. Well, this is like that, only it's meat. And in my case, it's soy. And I even have a special, I hope this shows frontward. This is called Sam's jerky, and it's made with soy, and it's high fiber and protein, and it's so yummy. I'm still not, my stomach's still not saying that sounds like a really good idea, so I'm not going to have any this second. Hopefully by the end of the day I'll feel like it. But I remember going to the RV shows, which we haven't done in like 2 years, and there was the jerky man was always there. And when Sammy was still with us, I would go to the jerky man and I would get some. She liked like teriyaki jerky, and her husband liked habanero or whatever they had that was hot. And so I would get that. And then I found vegetarian jerky, and I was so happy. It's a great snack, and it really gives you something to chew on. So I'm anticipating some jerky later. It is also National Shop Small Day. I know it's late in the day, and hopefully someone had already told you about it. But you know what? Shop small doesn't have to be just about today. It can be every day. And shopping small is supporting our local businesses. Now, I know a lot of people go, oh, you know what, there's more expensive. I can get a better deal at the big box stores, blah, 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 blah. But to me, sorry, drop my notes. To me, when you shop small, you are supporting your local businesses. You remember that line from the old Cheers television program? And they go, where everybody knows your name. And you can walk into your local stores and they recognize you, or they know you, or you know them because you see each other around town and everything. Yeah, they are a little bit more expensive, but chances are you're going to get something more, worth more. And you're going to get attention. There's this thing about, we have been moving over the past number of years from high touch, which you get in a small business, to high tech, which is Amazon, Walmart, and a lot of people are looking for the lower prices. Well, lower prices don't always mean better quality. Oh, my stars. Why does the phone have to ring now? I don't know where it is. It fell on the floor or something. I don't know where my phone is. Well, it stopped ringing anyway. So, going back to prices and quality, I remember, and I probably shared this with you before, when we were kids, we would get some toys and they would be made in Japan. Sometimes Hong Kong, sometimes it just said China. And if you took the toy apart, because, that's what kids do, you'd find that little car or whatever was made out of like a Band-Aid box, because that was early recycling. But the quality wasn't the same. Things fell apart. So how about, everybody's got too much stuff, and we're talking about minimalizing. What if we minimalize, shop small, support our local business, and, so what, you're paying a little bit more, but God's our source. We will always have plenty if we spend freely and handle our money wisely, not pinchy. You pinch a penny so hard it passes out. What is that? Can't get blood from a stone. But, so this is a good time to support your small business. You'll enjoy it more. The people that you get the gifts for will enjoy it more. I also think of it this way. Our little local grocery store is a little higher priced. And when I go for big shopping, I'll admit I go to the big store. But when I go for day-to-day, little odds and ends, I go to the local market to support them, and you get better service. You really do. So, shop small day. So don't just shop small today, shop small every day. And then it is also, and this was a real eye-opener for me this morning, and it wasn't pleasant. It's National Bavarian Cream Pie Day. Doesn't that sound delicious with that vanilla filling that, and then the topping, maybe some chocolate shaving on top? Oh my stars. Well, I found out today that Bavarian cream pie is made with gelatin. And I don't eat gelatin because I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat Bavarian cream pie very often either, so it's not like I've been eating something I shouldn't eat. But for those of you that are not vegetarian and those of you who love Bavarian cream pie, this is your day. Speaking of pie, that was a part of my thing yesterday. At my niece's, she had gotten a pecan pie and a bumbleberry pie. And she'd gotten them from Lyman's. Well, how do you say I want this or that with two lovely choices? So I had a little tiny piece of both. And that bumbleberry pie was so good. And then the pecan pie, which my belly tells me every time I eat it, too sweet, too sweet. And so it was so sweet I couldn't eat a half of the little piece she gave me. So I think as of today, I'm off of the pecan pie, no matter how enticing it is, no matter how wonderful it looks, no more of that for me. Okay, so those are our national. When we go back to the small shop, small day. Small stores did get, little local shops do get a bad rap sometimes because they say they have to pay higher prices. Well, the stores have to pay higher prices to buy the small amounts. They're not the big box stores that can buy thousands of things at a time. They have to buy a small amount. And if anybody here is from Moodus, many, many years ago, oh my God, it was like 50 years ago, I had a little store in town called M&S Discount, which I bought from my friend and never renamed. So the M&S was something about her name, not mine. But it's the same thing. We had lots of little fun stuff, and some people came in, but everything was more expensive. We had a little store in New Britain where I lived. It was off Corbin Avenue, and it was a little grocery store. And the poor guy got to be called Billy the Bandit because his prices were so high. But I'm going to tell you something. When that First National across the street, they would be closed. And Billy the Bandit was open and ready to serve. We need more high touch in our world today, and not so much high tech. We need the high tech, but let's not be dependent on it. Let's remember our small businesses and support them the best we can. Okay, so now today we're talking about the joy of anticipation. We're missing it a lot because we have become an on-demand, I want it all, I want it now type of a culture. This is what we want, and you can get it faster. They're talking about flipping Amazon direct delivering by drone, and just all these faster. They just want us to spend our money faster, and we're more than happy to do it. Then we got more junk. Then we got to rent a shed to put all our junk in. So it doesn't make sense, Anticipation. When I was a kid, Thanksgiving, we stayed home with our family, and we ate like pigs and enjoyed our day and visited. And of course, when we first got married, we'd have to visit everybody's family so no one would be upset. We'd have to see everybody on the holiday. And then we'd come home and everybody'd be stuffed and crabby and tired, overtired. But we'd have, back in those days, we'd come home and we'd have chicken noodle soup and watch a television, a movie that they'd always put on for the holidays for the kids. And then we would anticipate the next day. And the next day was not Black Friday. Let's remember the meaning of the word Black Friday is when businesses who ran in the red all year had the chance to make it up and get their accounts into the black with the increased spending. So when I was a kid, on the Friday after Thanksgiving, we would go to look at the offerings the stores put out. They put out their Christmas decorations and the toys and the stuff. Excuse me. But the big deal was that the stores were decorated and there was tinsel and trees, and that was like being unveiled. And it was so wonderful. And there were not special sales. There were things on sale. But it wasn't that greed-driven, penny-pinching, bargain-hunting thing, excuse me, that it has become today. Two of the most fun things we had in those days, anywhere between the 50s to the 80s, we would go to Constitution Plaza in Hartford, Connecticut. And it was a big plaza. They had this great building. It was called the Flatiron Building. It's still there. But in all the windows of the building surrounding the plaza, they had animatronics. They had the little, Santa and elves and reindeer and bears and squirrels. And so you'd go from window to window and you'd look at the products and you'd look at the pictures. And if it was an insurance company, they put an animatronic display. And I do not recall ever shopping at Constitution Plaza. We just went up there to look at the fairyland of lights, and it was just so beautiful. And then we'd have hot chocolate, and it was wonderful. I remember, taking my children there when they were little, and my parents, we'd all go together, and it was really nice. When I was a teenager, probably 16 or 17, my mom and dad let me go to Hartford, downtown Hartford, and on the Friday after Thanksgiving. I took the bus. That was big time taking a bus to Hartford. It wasn't like the school bus, And I went with my friend Marie one time, and we walked at the streets of Hartford, and we looked at the stores and their displays and their sales. And right near where the bus stop was, where you'd get off in Hartford, there was a Mr. Peanut store. And they were roasting peanuts all the time. And that roasted peanut smell would come out and waft through the area. Of course you had to go in and get a bag of peanuts, And it was so wonderful. And looking at the stuff, it wasn't just a big go and grab and spend your money and look for bargains for stuff that you can't afford and don't need, and a lot of the times you didn't want, but it was such a good deal. No. So today it's just, to me, it lost that. If it hasn't lost the shine for you, then good for you. But for me it has. I long for less being more. I long for anticipation. Do you remember I think it's Heinz ketchup ad, where they'd go, anticipation, it's making me wait. I know, can't carry that tune in a bucket. But anticipation makes us wait. Instant everything is not that joyful. As you build up anticipation and waiting and excitement, it just builds, and it gets better and better, and it makes the holiday better. It makes the event better. Like when you're expecting a baby and you're knitting the booties, such as they might come out the way I knit, or you're doing a cross stitch, or whatever you're doing, setting up the crib, and you're doing all these getting ready for baby things, reading Dr. Spock. All of those things are a part of anticipation. Anticipation is such a joy. All right, now, if there's any kids listening, send them in the other room or hold your hands over their ears, because what I'm going to say is going to be kind of saucy and spicy, and you don't want them to hear. But if you look at it this way, as anticipation is mental foreplay. Okay? Oh my God. Imagine intimacy without any. Remember the, what was his name? I know, and I'm a minister. I also am a mother, wife, been there, done that. But, what's his name? Woody Allen had a movie, it was a futuristic movie of some sort. And it talked about the, pardon my expression, orgasmatron. And you just go in and come out and go. But that's not what it's like. Anticipation. It's anticipation of a wonderful future, of a wonderful day. Remember we talked the other day about anxiety. Anxiety and anticipation. Anticipation is better than anxiety. Anxiety, you're dreading something. Anticipation, you're looking forward to something. The anticipation is a big part of the joy. And where do we find that? We find it in our mind. Okay? Our mind is the thoughts held in mind produce after their kind. We talked about this a little bit with Thanksgiving. Were you anticipating having time with your family, or did you have anxiety about it? Were you dreading it? And the same thing, anticipation produces endorphins, which make you feel good and actually make you healthier. Anxiety and produces adrenaline, which really it's only healthy for you if you're in fight and flight. And many people today live in a state of adrenaline rush. Some of them are sports or daredevils or whatever. I would be willing to say that Evel Knievel had pretty much of an adrenaline addiction. And so you want to anticipate and not have anxiety about. And the minute you find you're having anxiety about something, you've got to let it go, or it literally can ruin your holidays, because the thoughts we hold in mind, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So you want to encourage the endorphins, the feeling good. That is what anticipation is all about. Feeling good, looking forward to, and being at peace with whatever the outcome. In Unity we say this or something better. So whatever you're anticipating for the holiday, you say this because you're focusing your mind thinking, I think I'd like that. And then you let go saying, or something better. This or something better. A lot of times people say, the holiday's over, but it just didn't feel like Christmas this year. I'm thinking there was too much instant gratification and not enough anticipation. Anticipation, like instant gratification is you don't even think about it. You say, I want it, I got it. Anticipation is saying, Dear Santa, I would love to have blah, blah. And back in my day, you wanted a doll, and that was pretty good. You didn't have to have everything in the world. I want to share something with you tomorrow. I'm not usually doing a video on Saturday. But because I missed yesterday, number one, and number two, because tomorrow is the first Sunday of Advent, I wanted to give you a heads up so you could be ready. If you look on my profile page, whatever, my timeline, you'll see I put a video up there that I did back in 2012 on how to make an Advent wreath, which you can make in so many easy ways. Watch the video because it shows you all kinds of stuff. But this is my Advent wreath, and it's ready to be put in use tomorrow. And there are special scriptures you address, and you can say whatever prayers you want. You might have a daily devotional, which will do it. But I have the video up, and I have the how-tos, how to use it, like like if you're in a family, the youngest child lights the first candle, and then the next day the oldest person lights 2 candles, and I'm not next day, the next Sunday. So I have 4 white candles, which represent to me Christ in spirit, and then the red candle, which I light on Christmas Day, is Christ incarnate. It is the spark of divinity that Jesus Christ fully expressed, and that we all have the full potential to express. Advent is a wonderful way to anticipate the holidays and the promise and the teaching that is all about a higher good. Well, that's it for today. I will be with you on Monday, Lord willing, and I'm feeling back to being myself. I don't know who I am right this minute, but it ain't myself. In the meantime, have a bright, beautiful, better than average day. Bye-bye.